Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice has been the latest movie to bring to life the Man of Steel. However, some audiences do not seem to have taken well to the darker, brooding, possibly more violent Superman. Why is this? Well, to investigate this question, I want to look at who many people perceive as the definitive Superman, Christopher Reeve. Now, I do not want to judge the films as a whole, as I believe them to be different films. Instead, I am looking into how one version of the character could be so well loved, and the other receives such mixed reviews. I'm going to base my essay around the workings of Henry Jenkins' theory of fandom. Fandom, as described by Princeton.edu, is a term used to refer to a subculture of fans characterised by feeling of sympathy and camaraderie with others who share a common interest. Basically, a group of people who really like to share interests, such as Superman. Everyone has heard of him, the Man of Tomorrow, Superman. Sent to our planet just before his homeworld of Krypton exploded, leaving him the last of his race. Being raised on a farm and one day becoming the hero we all know and love. But who is he really? What makes Superman, Superman?
I just wanted to help.
I know you did, but we talked about this. Right? Right? We talked about this. You have... Oh, Clark, you have to keep this side of yourself a secret.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
The kind, gentle hero.
It's okay. I've got you now.
To me, he is the big friendly giant of the DC universe, and not because I'm only 5'7", because he has such immense power, but he will always do the right thing. Never just murder someone, find a moral way of doing things. Both films take extremely different approaches towards the Man of Steel. Richard Donner's 1978 classic focuses on the lighter side of Superman's persona. Superman himself is humorous, being Clark Kent, stumbling around, but also as Superman, just smiling when someone hits him over the head with a crowbar. Compare this to Zack Snyder's 2013 Man of Steel. There is only one or two scenes containing humour. For example, the bar scene, which starts off emotional but ends with Superman destroying the guy who gave him trouble's truck. There is already a clear difference in personality. Once Superman does not cause any damage, he flies in and helps out. Shown here.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me! Who's got you?
While the other destroys a truck to get back at someone. Even if the guy did deserve it, how can this be? How can two interpretations of the character be so different? Well, a theory which explains this is textual poaching. Michael de Zitul identified the idea that audience members can identify a text and can take from it what they want, that someone could take only some aspects and create something completely different from the same material, which is the same as when someone creates a meme, meaning different people can create different text from the same piece. As I mentioned earlier, the Superman fandom may not take kindly to what they regard as not the same as the original. Here, instead of avoiding violence and destruction as much as he can, Superman causes it. Some fans may lose what originally made them enjoy the character, his kindness and humanity towards others. An example of this trait is in All-Star Superman, when two Kryptonians arrive and cause trouble for Superman. Yet, while Superman is slowly losing his health, slowly dying in the story, he still finds time for compassion.
Your bodies. Not in time.
After everything we've done, you still show us kindness.
My Earth parents taught me forgiveness. Humanity has a lot to teach us.
Perhaps. Kal-El, son of Krypton, I'm proud to call you my kin. Our greatness lives on in you.
Personally, I identify as this being a definitive Superman, someone whose only goal is to help others. This is what came across in Christopher Reeve's Superman. He is always looking out for people.
Can't stay still for a second.
However, it is unfair to say there is none of this in Man of Steel. For instance, when he's about to go full power and fly as fast as he can, he asks people to get out of his way.
Step back a little bit. Maybe a little bit more.
Like Reeves as Superman.
What the? Oh, Superman!
Gee! Everyone stand back, please. Stand back. It's all right. Nothing to get worried about.
He saves the workers on the oil rig. And back when he was just a kid, he saved everyone on the school bus. There still seems to be that essence of Superman, and he has shown his willingness to sacrifice his secret identity to help others, which is actually how Lois Lane finds him. In Donna's Superman, Kal-El does not risk anyone discovering who he is. While he still uses Clark Kent disguise, he is never in danger of losing his personal life, unlike Snyder's Superman, who actually puts his own personal life on the line. Now, this is not saying that Reed's Superman did not have his own struggles. He obviously had difficulty hiding who he was from Lois. It is saying that the Man of Steel did have a lot of sacrificing of his own, and did put others before himself, just like Superman would. So how does this relate to fandom? Well, a common complaint from Man of Steel is the fact that it isn't as magical as Superman.
It didn't have that Superman magic that Christopher Reeve had.
And it begs the question, that is being Superman enough for audiences and fans to enjoy the movie? Is there something more that has to be shown? Perhaps for some, yes. Donna's Superman is iconic. It was the first really successful attempt at a superhero movie that stayed true to who the character was. While it did stray away from the character's abilities, and Reeve was not as muscular as the hero is usually depicted, there was still a sense of joy to it, which Superman gives off in his stories, the hero that you look at and feel hopeful and are happy because you know he will do the right thing. Do you get that sense from Man of Steel? Well, arguably no. While you do see Superman wants to help people, there is so much death and destruction surrounding him, so much collateral damage. This could mean that when audiences see him, they do not think of happiness and hope, they think of all the carnage. Perhaps suggesting why some do not see the same magic that was seen in Superman, where you just saw the good he did, not the pain. Also, maybe this Superman is of a different generation. It could be seen that audiences are less willing to accept that someone like this should just have no sort of control and make up his own morals. While these morals are certainly heroic, people may not enjoy the idea of a superpowered being saying what is right and wrong. Our whole democracy is based off sharing ideas and debating thoughts. This might be what Superman needed to become, someone who does have repercussions and thinks deeply about what he should do. Even Marvel, who started off with the Avengers being all fun and not worrying about the aftermath, have recently had to delve into some of the damage that they maybe have caused. Man of Steel has Superman working alongside the military, working to defeat a greater threat, also allowing them to have control and a sense of priority to show that he is not a threat. Donna's Superman worked by himself and did not answer to anyone. Even someone like Superman can make mistakes, and if he does, it could be on a catastrophic level. This could explain why the filmmakers decided to do this, to have a more realistic Superman. Some audience members may enjoy this new Superman who does answer to others. Others may enjoy the more fun Donna version. Others may want something in between, or even something completely different. Personally, I enjoy the idea that Superman would help out the military, as he is not allowing them to control him, as they could ask him to do something wrong, but he is allowing them to have a sense of comfort around him and to show he is not a threat. Is it really a right way to portray Superman? Michael de Couture's textual poaching shows that anyone can create a text using aspects of the original piece, but does this take away from the original piece? Both movies in their own way stray away from the comic book character Superman. Christopher Reeve does not have the muscles of the character, while Henry Cavill does not have the same joy. However, even in the comics, Superman is not always the same. He has been part of the Soviet Union, he has worked for the government, done just what they told him, and he has been dark and brooding. So, how should the fandom decide which is the definitive Superman? Should one version be considered more important than another? There is no right or wrong answer. It is all subjective and down to each person's own personal opinions. As long as the character is still saving people and putting others before himself and working towards good, is he not still Superman? Personally, I believe that a Superman story should still capture his essence, no matter which version he is, unless he is meant to be evil or completely different, of course. Look at Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. It is not an exact adaptation of Batman, he does not make his own gadgets, and he does not do loads of detective work. Yet, it is still seen as one of the best adaptations and one of the best movies of all time. Perhaps this is due to Batman's essence still being there, still not murdering anyone, and being able to brood all the time. For me, if the story can keep true to who the character is, then perhaps it is okay for them to stray away from the source material, as long as it is justified. Of course, others will feel differently, but that is why there is no right or wrong answer. To conclude as to why audiences and fans love one version so much and are so mixed towards the other, I think fans see Donna's version as more closely capturing the essence of Superman. Personally, I still do adore Man of Steel and do see Superman in that film, but I understand why others do not. It moves away from his usual hopefulness, focusing more on his loneliness and his destruction. While there is still hope to be found from the film, Donna's Superman just leaves you with that feeling that Superman should leave you with. That feeling of hope that no matter what, things will be okay.